So welcome to another episode of the Lely Dairy Experience podcast. Exciting podcast. This is the first Dairy Experience podcast we've had since the Lely Future Farm Days held in June, where we had the release of the Lely Astronaut A5 Next. Hopefully everyone out there has had an opportunity now to do some investigating and see some of the exciting new releases that we've come through with. But we thought we'd take this opportunity today to recap those latest upgrades or latest releases that have come on the A5 Next and give a little bit more in-depth information about those products. So joining myself here today, we have Jake Connor from the Lely FMS team, and we have Johan Balkenhaus from the Lely TSS team, who will give a little bit more information about those new upgrades and what they can mean for you, for your farm, and for the way we go forward with the robot from today and into the future. A couple of important notes. The new Lely Astronaut A5 Next is available from today. So anyone there looking to put an AMS solution in place for their farm is lucky that they can order all these products effective immediately and make sure that their new barn or their new dairy shed or their new milking platform is up to date with the latest technology available. So as a short recap, as we said, the Astronaut A5 Next, it has been released in the same format or the same footprint as we know from the Lely Astronaut A5, which is also the same as the A4. So it maintains that iFlow design with the cow walking straight through with the retractable feed bin. So it's a proven method that is it works very well, and we see it working consistently well in the grazing and barn systems. So that platform has been maintained, which is also a great thing for those people who currently have an A4 and A5, which means you can upgrade to the A5 Next quite easily with taking the old one out and putting the new one straight back in its place. The upgrades that we've seen come through, they include the new teat detection system 2+, which is the laser now accompanied by the camera. We have the new milk for use system. We have the new automatic milk filter, which can replace the old twin filter system, which everyone is so used to. We now have the EarTag ID reader, which is reading off the RFID or NLIS ear tags within the cow, meaning that for those people who don't want to have a collar system can now choose to not have that. We have the new Astronaut operating system too, and we also have some new software upgrades coming in the style of the Lely Technical Diagnostics Assistant, which we'll give you a bit more information on later on. So we'll jump right into it and start covering off some of the products, and we'll probably start with the one of the major upgrades we've seen in the teat detection system 2+, which is, as I said earlier, the new camera mounted in conjunction with the laser. And we might throw over to Jake Connor quickly just to give us a quick overview of what this new system is and how that looks in the day-to-day use in the farm comparative to the standard laser system that Lely has been running for all these years.
Thanks, Daniel. So with the new TDS 2+, it's maintained Lely's proven attachment laser method, and they've combined that with installing a camera that is sitting inside the laser, and that camera is giving a wider view of the cow position of its legs, the position of the tail, and the position of the udder. So it takes a view of where all those positionings are, and then that reports that back to the laser to give that extra assistance for teat attachment. So when it comes to attach, the robot knows, well, this is exactly where the leg of the cow is sitting. This is exactly where the tail is sitting, and it gives that a wider view for the attachment system.
So I suppose an important note is the laser is still the primary detection system, supported by the camera.
Yeah, that's right. So there's been a lot of years work go into perfecting this laser system and using memory of memorizing where the teats are, and then using those coordinates to attach straight on. So this camera is just assisting that proven method. And the most, when a farmer will notice that most, for any farmer that's had experience with an A4 or an A5, is in the first milking. So that first milking, this is a one button touch, so you just hit the button on the E-link of the robot, and then the camera will assist the laser to get the cups on the attachment that first milking. So there's a big improvement that the farmer would notice in that first milking.
And as far as other insights that we can get from the camera, I think it's important to note the camera is not an accessible, visible camera that the farmer can just sit there and watch through the camera. It is an enclosed system, but it is giving a visual assessment of the teats and giving some indications, I believe.
Yeah, so yeah, it'd be nice if you could look at your iPhone and look at the camera attaching and see what it looks, but no, that feature's not available, even though people have wondered about that. But if you do see some in all the marketing and that, they have released some photos of what the camera actually sees while it's hovering under the cow, which is quite interesting to see if you come across one of those photos. But yeah, it along with assisting and knowing where the cow's legs and tail is for the attachment. Another important function of the camera is it's monitoring the teat. So currently it's monitoring the teat size. So it's looking at the length and width of the teats. And then it's putting that through a program to recommend the most uniform liner size to suit the majority of your cows, which in AMS is a bit of a talking point. Like there's a large range of liner sizes on the market, and getting the right liner to suit your cows. There's always a bit of trial and error to see which works the best. So this is going to do that for us.
Yeah, fantastic. And as you said, that's the current position for the camera. But like anything, we are building for the future, and having that camera visibility does open up a whole multitude of future possibilities, I suppose. And it will be very much a case of watch this space, because what we can expect coming forward. I suppose from a technical position, and probably an important question for a lot of those people already out there with today's A5. Can I have it on today's A5? And I suppose over to you, Johan. I'm currently sending out there today, and I'm milking on 6 A5s that I've had for 4 years. I want the camera. Can I have it?
Yeah, there's a possibility to upgrade the existing A5s to have it with the camera. It's some electronics need to be replaced with a more unit with more processing power, and of course the new laser, and the robots have to run on the new software.
So, which is probably somewhat of a good segue or introduction that has come along with the A5. The A5 Next is a new operating system, Astronaut Operating System 2, or what we'll future refer to as AOS 2. So you've just mentioned it there. So if I do want to upgrade and put in the camera laser component, I do need to have AOS 2?
Yeah, you need AOS 2. You won't see too much of the new operating software because it looks and feels quite the same, but on the background it's completely different. With all software, we can't on the end of the development of what was possible. So it was like a spaghetti software that it's getting all directions, but now it's completely new developed, ready for the future software, more stable, more functionalities can be added now. That's the main thing.
Fantastic.
Well, as Lely say, it's their smartest brain yet inside a robot.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's like Jake, you're the smartest brain outside of the robot. Now we have the smartest brain inside the robot. We've got to have one inside and one outside.
Yeah, I suppose.
just going back to the people with an existing A5, Johan. So the job to upgrade to the new system, to the new camera 3D with the laser or the TDS2, what sort of time frame, like how long does it take to complete the upgrade, and what else do I have to change on the robot other than the AOS or the operating system upgrade? What else needs to change?
Yeah, there's an electronic unit, a building block, can call it, that's in the A5, but also in the A5 Next. It's a new, more powerful part that needs to be replaced, and then you have to put the software. It will be a couple of hours to do the upgrade. Yeah, per robot. So that's it wouldn't take you days. No.
Yep, fantastic. And I think it's important to know anyone who is in that position today who would like to have that discussion, please contact your local Lely Centre, and they'll have all the information for you to let you know costs and process and timeframes and the like to have those upgrades done. At this stage, I think it's just good to note that the upgrade packages, although are available to order, are already on a back order due to the vast majority of farmers that are doing it. And we are looking in the sort of middle to late part of Q4 before we have available production of the upgrade systems. But they are available to start having those discussions about now with with your local Lely Centre. So that covers off, as I said, the TDS2 and the AOS2. Another one of the major upgrades we saw in the Lely Astronaut A5 Next is the new EarTag identification reader. So this is allowing us now to ID the cow and to milk off a NLIS tag or RFID tag rather than having to milk solely from a collar system like we have up until this point in time. The EarTag identification system is only available on the A5 Next. It's not something that can be retrofitted back to a previous model at this point in time. But for those people going forward who may be utilising an existing system already or are looking for a more cost-efficient system and maybe aren't necessarily looking for that heavy data at this point in time, the EarTag identification is a great option to get you in there and get you milking. And in later times, we can also upgrade and add on more data to that through a collar or through an ear button style system. But it does give you that flexibility to make those choices. So I suppose back over to the guys from an EarTag ID perspective, and Jake, I might throw to you again first. What other change, or what else can this change? I suppose for a farmer, obviously there's a cost saving by not having to buy collar, but what does that change within a farming system, within the Horizon system, by doing or having those choices, I suppose?
I guess it adds flexibility. So we know that the preferred option is to have a collar system on your cow. That gives us the most amount of data and enables you to maximise the benefits of AMS milking. Because obviously we need to rely on this data as free cow traffic. We're not there viewing the cows day in, day out. But if you've got on farm with an existing collar system and you don't want to have to change the collars over, we can use the NLIS tags to ID and do the milking procedure, and then your existing collars could run separately to do your heat, rumination, other data. So it adds an element of flexibility, and like you don't have to. You can still maintain the current collar system if that's what you want to do. So this is just an extra to add flexibility.
Yeah, definitely. And to give us more of the technical, I suppose, background is in how this works, I suppose, Johan, and what's different between EarTag identification to the traditional collar identification that we've used up until this point in time. So I suppose the first question is how is it using the NLIS tag to do the ID for the cow?
It's the tag is coming in into an antenna area, quite a big antenna area, and it can read from the left or right ear the tag within the robot raceway and in the cosmics in the feeding station. Yeah, it's quite known basic technology, so it's quite trustable technology. Yeah.
And I think it's an important note there that yes, it does work in the grazing, in the grazeways and the cosmics as well. So once again, if you are looking at a robot solution, and EarTag ID is something that you are interested in, it does work in all the Lely products that are currently there. Will be delivered as an EarTag reading device. Just going back to the previous comment, if someone does choose to add a collar system or a second ID system later on, that can still be included. We can upgrade and put in antennas. We can still capture the data. You'll still be milking through the robot using the EarTag ID that you've always used, but we'll be collating the data via the antennas and the servers that are put in with the system. So that would then integrate back into the Horizon system as it does today. Anything else on that comment from either of you guys?
No, I think we've covered that.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Now another, I suppose, evolution of product that we've seen. A lot of people out there who've got the robots will know M for use, or is now milk for use. There's been a bit of an upgrade, a redesign, and some small improvements made along the way. It's still the same product we have known, as I said, with some small improvements made to make it a more comfortable, cleaner, easy to use, easy to handle system for the farmer. And Jake, once again, I might throw to you. This is probably something more in your line, and having someone who's got milk for use on your farm or in for use on your farm today, and how the current system works compared to the new milk for use. What differences can we see?
So yeah, it's just they've just made some improvements to what the existing system's been out there. So it's still the same 4-bucket system that can be connected to one astronaut. They've made some changes in the design of the buckets, so they've made them transparent with measurements on the bucket. So from a distance, you can see how much milk is in a bucket, and they've also made the buckets a bit taller and a bit skinnier, aimed at being easier to carry through squeeze gaps that are around the dairy shed, which are always a pain. So, and they've also put a handle underneath the bucket to assist in pouring the milk out of that bucket, which usually gets poured into smaller bottles. So they've just made that side of it just more user friendly. And then on the inside of it, the biggest change is probably that it's now washable through the main cluster rinse of the astronaut. So previously, to wash the M4U system, you would have to take all the 4 buckets off of the system and then do a separate rinse, which only takes 3 minutes, but it's still, you do a separate rinse and then that cleans the system. Now with the new M4Us, the buckets can remain in place, whether they've got milk in them or not, it doesn't matter, because there's a swiveling arm that moves along to fill up each bucket, and when it's not filling up a bucket with milk, it's defaulting to the sewer position. So every time that the robot does its standard cluster rinse, it automatically rinses the M4U's unit. So that just takes one of those repetitive tasks away from a farm that's using the M4U's every single day of the year. It's usually part of their daily routine of doing an M4U's flush, which now they won't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And I think there's been a small upgrade to the lid as well. For those people that may have experienced it, it's now a tighter seal around the top of the buckets to allow for less flies and stuff to get into the buckets. And the milk delivery into the buckets is a much smoother delivery. It's not quite as which I think they've probably improved through the way the pump works. Johan, you might have a bit more information on exactly how they've changed that delivery system.
Yeah, they are better able now to clean the the milk line to the MVUs on getting all, and I think it's particularly important for colostrum. You already have little, and then half of it, you don't want to have half of it stuck in milk line. It's pushing out more of the colostrum into the bucket, so at least you get all your colostrum. That's one of the main advantages also. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's doing that a lot gentler, so a lot less frothing up of the colostrum as it's filling the bucket.
Yeah. Yep. Also more gentle, yes. Yeah.
Yep. Fantastic. And once again, it is something that is available to be upgraded for existing A5 users once the operating system is upgraded as well. So another point to note that this is a retrofittable item to all existing dairies for those that are interested in having a look at it. The last two items that we have, which is, I think, one of the major items that did come out, was the automatic milk filter, which captured a lot of attention throughout the Lely Future Farm Day event, and something that really does fall in line with Lely's innovation and sustainability targets. So the automatic milk filter is replacing our twin filter system and removing that need to have filter socks running and changed on every wash. So the Lely automatic milk filter is installed in place the same as the old twin filters were. Works on up to 4 robots and is currently available for the A5 Next. And then if someone currently has A5s and has the upgrades done to the operating system too, they could also integrate this into their existing system as well. Yeah, Johan, I suppose flicking over to the AMF and the technical aspect of it and what it does and how it works and the differences between the system we've always known using twin filters with filter socks into this new system. Give us a bit of an overview of how this works.
Yeah. It doesn't work with a filter sock anymore, but it's having a stainless steel tin plate with microscopic small holes, laser burnt holes in it. And once there's a pressure sensor before and after it, and if this pressure building up in the filter, that means it's getting clogged. It's able to do a backflush with there's a container of water next to it, and then with a lot of pressure is flushing the water in the other direction, cleaning the filter actually. And it gets cleaned with every main cleaning also. Using no filter socks anymore, that's of course it's a big saving. Other good point is the use existing electronics from the new CU and the CRS. So it's known trustable technology behind it. And I think it's the most visible item we have now. It's kind of selling itself. It's logic what it's doing, and I'm very enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, look, I think it's, as you said, it's definitely stands out, and it was definitely a huge draw card through the Future Farm Day event for a lot of people wanting to see it. It's something very different to what anyone has seen in the past, and nothing else that we really know of on the market at the moment that's doing the same job. From a farmer's perspective, Jake, someone who's running, multiple sets of twin filters across your farms, what does something like this mean for you in a day-to-day scenario?
Yeah, no, this is great because although it's easy and you shouldn't say it, for some reason changing the filter socks is a job you dread. I don't know why, but you seem to always dread it. So yeah, it's one of the last true repetitive tasks in AMF that the filter socks have to be changed before a certain time for the wash to go through. This removes that away, and when you're running a larger farm with staff and that, it removes the text messages back and forwards, making sure that someone's changed them. So that's good. And also the backflush system is great because there's nothing worse, and it always seems to be at night, that if you have a cow that's come through with bad mastitis that day, and you get a phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning saying that she's blocked up a filter sock. So that always only seems to happen in the middle of the night. So the backflush system is a really good way to know that doesn't happen. So it's definitely you can see moving forward that you're right, this product will sell itself and just go hand in hand with new installs from now on. And filter socks will definitely be a thing of the past.
Yeah, and speaking with a couple of farmers that in parts of the UK that were using this currently through its trial period or its testing period, the recommendation from Lely is that it's every 2 weeks that that filtration, that stainless steel filter, is taken out, and a quick 10-second scrub with a like a bottle brush, just to give the inside of it a clean. The farmer we spoke to said he had become so accustomed to just forgetting about it that 4 or 5 weeks into it, he still hadn't touched it and had no issues, no negative side effects, other than he just didn't have to go and do that job, not even every 2 weeks. So extremely robust system, and obviously the fact that it is doing that backflush and that cleaning every cycle is proving to be a good thing. I think just a couple of points of note. Currently, it's not supported in a sand bedding environment, so sand in the filtration system is a negative. So we're keeping it away from that for the time being. Question to you, Johan: what sort of electrical upgrade does a farmer have to do to replace their twin filters with an automatic milk filter?
Just 220 volts, very light, very low on power. Yeah.
So just plug and play.
Basically, plug and play. Yeah.
Yep. And it's not a very big footprint, so it's designed to take up no more footprint than what a twin filter system does. So it'll fit into any existing milk tank room.
Yep, just wall mounted, I believe.
Just wall mounted and access to cold water. So the backflush is just done with cold water. So it doesn't require a heap of hot water. If you do have dirty cows or dirty bedding for any reason, and it requires to do numerous backflushes for the day, it's just doing that with cold water.
Yeah, and maybe to add, it's a backflush costs very little milk, maybe half a cup of milk or something, so it doesn't cost you a lot. And then I think that's a positive side too. Yeah.
And it doesn't cost any time, so you wouldn't notice if you were out with the Astronaut, you wouldn't notice if the filter did a backflush.
Yeah, it's not interrupting milkings to do it.
It doesn't interrupt the milkings. No.
Yep, and so it's not interrupting milking, and it's not interrupting the farmer's day. So
that's right, or the cow's day.
Or the cow's day. Very unintrusive.
Yeah, even more important. Yeah.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So they were the main updates, I suppose, for hardware products. There were also some announcements made around some software upgrades that will come with the new software and the new operating system updates. So this is probably for the people that are looking to go into AMS, it's a great thing to know that this can happen. But for those people who are currently in the AMS as well, a big change coming that'll support their local Lely centres and their local TSS team in supporting their farms. So the Lely Technician Diagnostics Assistant, it's all built around that smarter, faster service, less downtime, and utilising the power of cloud-based information and I suppose AI-based information to some degree in supporting your local TSS team. So, Johan, you've had a bit of a play with the LTDA, or the Lely Technician Diagnostics Assistant. What would a farmer expect? What is it, and what does it do that we hadn't been able to do up until this point of time?
from a distance, it can give you a technician a lot of information. It's all information is uploaded to the cloud, so it's from anywhere in the world. It's available. Before going to a farm for a breakdown or for an issue, a technician can have a look, advise the farmer on what to do, or even solve it with the farmer's help without going to the farm. It's a lot of log files, tooling, what some was available, some new is available. Now it's all in a more graphic tool, easier for the technician to have a good overview what is really happening with the robots. It's not really for the farmer himself that he sees this tool, but it's more a service tool from the Lely Center side to assist the farmer in a better way and reducing cost and hours spending on the farm. Yeah,
I think that's the big one, and Jake, you know that from the farmer side, you receive that bill, and the technician turns up and says, "Okay, we have a problem, but let's spend some time trying to find it." What would it mean if the technician is turning up on farm already knowing exactly what the problem's going to be?
Yeah, that's just a win-win for everybody. So that's better for the technician instead of getting frustrated problem solving. Better for the cows to get the robot back into operation quicker, and obviously better for the farmer, less worry for him if he's hovering around watching a technician problem solve for an hour. And I think also it might be good to note that sometimes you're in a situation that you feel like, well, should I even be calling the technician? Is this something that I should be fixing myself? And is the technician going to drive all the way out there and I'm going to look like an idiot because it's something I should have fixed myself? So also it could take a bit of that, particularly if it's an out of hours calls or a Sunday afternoon or whatever, and you're sitting there with this issue that you know is not very serious, and you're seeing the thing, well, should I have a go at fixing it myself, or should I call the technician and feel guilty about disturbing his Sunday afternoon? Whereas in this, you can have confidence that no, together you could call him, he could look using this tool, and then together it might reduce the call out, unnecessary call outs really that the farmer might have been out to fix himself.
And I think that's important. I mean, very often we get asked the question, or people look at AMS as it's going to be an overly complex system, and it's, you become so used to being able to manage or support or maintain the system that you've had for the last 20 years, a lot of it yourself. This comes that step closer. It does allow you that ability to problem solve over the phone, as you said. Make the phone call, technician dials in, whether they're in Australia, New Zealand, the Netherlands, Ireland, like we can dial in anywhere in the world, and that support can be given and cut a lot of time out of everybody's world. So I think it's a huge win for Lely Centres farmers alike, as you said. The last thing,
it's moving with the rest of the world. So you see this remote
exactly.
diagnostics is just getting popular. Like you can buy heavy machinery now that the same thing happens. You can have your tractor stop in the paddock and they can remotely look at it to see what's wrong. So it's just moving in the space of the rest of the world.
Exactly, and it's information sharing too. It's sometimes there's something that's happened on a farm and it's happened 10 times in one area but never in another area, and all of a sudden it pops up for the first time in that other area. And the ability to have that information sharing or that knowledge sharing it's already happened somewhere is a huge advantage. So the last thing that was announced at the Future Farm Days, which wasn't a specific robot upgrade, I suppose, but it's still a huge upgrade for the way forward, I suppose, and very much around farmer information, farmer IP, is the Lely Hub. So Lely Hub was released and talked about around that security. I think everybody, we hear it in the news all the time where major corporations, our information's hacked, whether it was Medicare, whether it was Qantas, whether it was Optus. We're seeing these huge organisations getting hacked all the time. And unfortunately, Lely and farms are not exempt. So the Lely Hub has been or will be introduced in the back half of this year, where it is a simple plug and play device that provides I suppose a firewall of sorts between your system and the outside world. This will come with Lely Horizon or your Horizon data in the Lely Hub, but it is not accessible by anyone else. So it's not a system that the hackers can get into. Lely's done a lot of testing and a lot of trials with ethical hackers, and it has come up the winner every time. So it's for those people that are used to it. We have used things like TeamViewer for giving remote access into people's computers, and it's not overly difficult for those hackers to get in there and get your data and potentially, if they've got ill intentions, to corrupt your data. So that extra security line, I think, is a huge step forward to make sure that you are protected and your data and your farm data, your business data is protected. From a technical perspective, Johan, I don't think it's overly difficult. I think it is literally a power plug-in and a HDMI plug-in between your computer and the device.
Yeah, it's got a internet connection. It's got a USB connection and a power connection. And this you can't open it. It's very much sealed off system. Yeah.
And I mean, as a farmer, Jake, what would it mean if someone did get into your system and started doing nasty things? What's the potential risk? What's the potential pushback on a business, at a farm business that can happen?
Yeah, it'd be pretty serious if it ever happened. You'd wonder why anyone would want to log in and steal some farms milking data. It's not really much use to them, but but if they did, it would be pretty serious. You'd lose a lot of historical data that's valuable to the farm, and particularly if they interrupted the day-to-day operations of the system running. So it's always a risk, and we take measures in place at the moment. There's already a pretty good system now with the server PC connection. So there is the current server running in the background, but the farmer's using the PC on a day-to-day basis to protect the server. So that's quite a good system as it is. But yeah, it's still, everything's connected to the internet. It only takes one computer savvy person to be able to log in and put a virus on it, or for someone to open an email by mistake on the server, and you can be in trouble. So, and we do things to protect ourselves, like backup. Twice a week we do a backup on a USB that's not plugged into the computer. So if anything did happen, we've always got a backup on site. But that's still work and still remember to do it. So this is a great thing moving forward, and I like how it standardizes it too. So it's not up now for Lely centers to be supplying servers and PCs to the farm to get it all right to the right spec, and that this is just the standard.
Nice and
the
simple.
Lely Hub goes onto each farm. Then you just need a simple, normal PC that you can buy from Big W if you want to do the physical work on it, and it'll be standard across all farms. So
exactly right. It takes away a lot of the potential issues in between.
Heaps better.
And as I understand from IT experts, with AI we can expect next level hacking and things. So it's going to be a thing of the future, definitely. Yeah.
Software upgrades moving forward like that. That's what's important. So if you look historically back from where the A2 was 20 odd years ago to what the A5 Next is now, there's changes in software, but there's also massive changes in hardware. But what you see, but moving forward, I don't feel like we'll get that same jump in hardware over the next 20 years. It's going to be software. Like the hardware, there'll be tinkerings to things to always improve it. But the main software of the system, like when you start talking about AI, when you start talking about computing, when you're talking about the brain inside the robot, this is where the advancements is going to come moving
definitely.
forward.
Definitely, yeah.
And I think that's the good thing you see with the introductions we see coming along the way. It's trying to take away those smaller tasks, because the big tasks have already been taken away with the robot. You know, you already don't have to stand in the milking pit or at the rotary for those twice a day milkings for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day. But it's the small things. It's those small repetitive tasks that as you said, Jake, you got to come back to the dairy 3 times a day to swap out filter socks. Well, that's gone. You know, having to remember to do software upgrades, security upgrades, and everything at your computer, well, it's gone. We're taking away those repetitive tasks and replacing them with robust, safe mechanisms going forward.
Yeah, but even the day-to-day stuff in robotic milking is going to come from software. So improvement to connection in performance moving forward is going to be more software related than hardware related. More data, picking up more health traits on cows, more sick cows. It's all going to be software related.
Yep, definitely. So I suppose just as a quick recap, and to let people know, so we've covered off the TDS2 Plus, or the T Detection System 2 Plus, the new operating system for the Astronaut, the new milk for use, the automatic milk filter, and the EarTag ID. As we said, the milk filter, the TDS2 Plus operating system 2, the milk for use, all upgradable to existing A5 users, and we're looking late Q4 where we can start getting those orders ready for shipment out to Australia for those people interested, and have a chat to your local Lely Centre about that. For A4s, just I suppose to be clear, anyone on the A4s at the moment are not upgradable to the operating system 2. I'm not sure if that'll change in the future. There is no indication or dates indicated at this point in time, but at this stage, A4 robots are not upgradable to AOS 2. And also, anyone who is currently on an A5 will need to move to a CRS, the new CRS M3, if they want to have the new systems as well. So that will be also communicated by your Lely Centre. I suppose one question that people may have as well, that's great, when can I see it? So the good part is we will have the new Astronaut A5 Next and the products we've just spoken about all in the country ready for viewing in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So there is a bit of a plan in place over the next 6 months to get the new Astronaut and the associated products out to each Lely Centre, where people can come along and have a viewing day. So we'll communicate more of that through the socials in the coming weeks. We will also be attending local dairy shows. So I believe we have the Curramborough Dairy Show in September in Gippsland. We have the Elmore Field Days in Northern Victoria in October. And we're currently speaking with a couple of the other potential dairy shows coming up between now and Christmas and early into the new year, where the robot and its products will be on display. But if you want to find out more on that area, on those two, please speak to your local Lely Centre. And once again, they'll have more information about when we should be in their area for a viewing. Information is available on the website about the new products, and of course, always you're able to reach out through your centres to anyone here to find out more information and how we can go about having these discussions for you and your farm. I suppose a quick cap off between Johan and Jake. Anything extra you wanted to add in on top of what we've already discussed today?
Not really much. I think it's mostly a lot of products we are ready for the future, and from here on we can take the next steps. I think that's quite important to a lot of the new things. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, no, I'm comfortable. I reckon we've covered everything that we need to.
Fantastic. Well, yes, thank you to everyone for listening and going as a recap of those products with us. And as I said, please reach out for any more information. Visit the website, keep an eye on the socials, and it'll be some exciting months ahead as we bring these new products into the market. But other than that, thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.